Superhero fatigue doesn't exist. The problem is that the superhero content has changed. Everything Disney has been producing as of late had to come with an agenda. Hi y'all, SnarkyJay cosplay here. In recent Marvel news, Disney CEO Bob Iger recently announced that they're going to be cutting back big time on Marvel content moving forward. And they've been talking about this for a while. Supposedly, Bob Iger quietly killed off several Marvel projects a while ago that just were not up to par. Now, this is supposed to be a really big change because according to Iger's announcement, every year we're gonna get no more than 3 Marvel films and 2 Marvel shows, supposedly to cut down on that absolute deluge of Marvel content that we've been getting for the past few years that nobody's asked for. I can tell you right now that them cutting back on content and only giving us 3 movies a year and only giving us 2 shows a year, I could not give a less. Give me less content. Give me 1 movie a year and like a half a show a year, and maybe I would consider paying for Disney Plus again. This is once again Bob Iger putting a band-aid on something that's not the real issue. He's once again claiming that cutting back on Marvel content is what's going to save Marvel. And the problem with Marvel is that it's not superhero fatigue. Superhero fatigue doesn't exist. There's still an appetite for superhero content. I mean, it's basically just big summer blockbuster shit. That's never going to die. The popcorn movie of superheroes and CGI and nonsense, that's always going to be wanted. That's always going to be necessary. There will always be a market for that. The problem is that the superhero content, the superhero genre, as established pretty much entirely by Marvel, has changed. Disney decided to move on past the era of providing entertainment and instead started trying to teach a lesson. Everything Disney has been producing as of late had to come with an agenda. This is not a matter of diversity. This is not a matter of people hating bringing in women and minorities into Marvel, even though there is a subsection of the fandom that will about anything starring somebody that isn't a white man, but we're not going to talk about that right now. The point is that Marvel is ignoring the problem at hand. It's that they have forgotten how to tell a story without forcing some sort of subliminal message down your throat. And that is what the audience is tired about. When I go to watch a Marvel movie, I want to be entertained. I want Spider-Man, I want Captain America, I want all these characters to go and do superhero shit, and I'd be even happier if you just recreated the stuff that was already good in the comics and brought it to the big screen. That's all I'm asking for. I'm not asking for a lesson in misogyny or diversity. I'm not asking to be preached to about politics in America and capitalism and all this nonsense. I'm not asking for that, and I doubt any of you are. I doubt anybody who's taking their 6-year-old son who's a big Thor fan wants to be preached to about jack shit. What we want is a good, entertaining movie. Something that we can sit down for 2 hours and enjoy. I mean, let's look at it this way. How many pieces of Marvel content came out last year, right? Not that many. And off the top of my head, let's talk about Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania, and The Marvels. Those were pretty big failures for Marvel's box office, The Marvels being its biggest yet. And last year wasn't that big a year for Marvel content. Speaking off the top of my head, it might actually follow Bob Iger's new plan of no more than 3 movies, no more than 2 shows. And yet that shit still flopped. It didn't flop because we were tired of superhero content. It flopped because those movies sucked. So continuing to cut back on content and insisting it's superhero fatigue that's killing the genre in the box office? No! Hire good writers. Get money from somewhere else. Stop worrying about ESG and DEI and all this other bullshit. Write good films. And the people will come. If you write stuff that doesn't suck, if you put out trailers that look good, I will be first in line opening night, midnight, Thursday. Again, like I used to do when I was 13, 14 years old. I'll be there. I'll camp out if I have to. You'll get my ass in the theater back just like that. I mean, that's basically how I feel about Deadpool and Wolverine right now, right? That looks fantastic, and I am ready to buy tickets as soon as they go on sale. I might even go in cosplay. I'll round up a bunch of friends and we'll go watch it. It's not that I'm tired of superhero content. I didn't stop watching and loving it because I was tired or because I got too old for it. It's because it grew into something that I didn't like. Disney took Marvel down a path that I was unwilling to follow. I was unwilling to be lectured to. I wanted to be entertained, and clearly their priorities changed. If Iger continues to insist that it's the amount of content that's ruining Marvel and not the quality of content, it's essentially going to tank Marvel as a property entirely. Fingers crossed eventually Bob Iger gets the hint and stops blaming fatigue and blaming the audience, and instead blames the writers that are producing garbage for people to ignore. And that's all for me. I've been SnarkyJay. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. For more SnarkyJay, be sure to catch me on Twitch every Tuesday and Thursday from 6 to 8 p.m. EST. You can also check out my Instagram, and if you'd like to support me, this channel, and my content creation, do check out and consider subscribing to my Patreon for exclusive content and photo shoot sets. I will add links to all of those in the description below, and let me know your thoughts on Marvel superhero fatigue in the comments below.